In this lecture, I will show you how we can work with this power up slider control. Okay, this is a very useful controls that you will use in your Canvas app for designing the forms, and you will use this component or the control. Now, what is this control? As the name suggests, this element will allow the users to select a value from a continuous range by dragging it. So, if you drag it, then you can see the value will be increasing or decreasing on that, right? So, what will happen is the user can adjust the numeric values from a range, like you will decide the minimum range, max range, and you can drag this, so the value will change. Normally what happens is, if you have a control, let's say, and you can enter the values, right? If you put a validation, then it will show you cannot enter more than that. But here you have a range defined, and let's say 0 to 100, and on that you can drag it, and so it will go forward, then the value will increase, backward the value will decrease, like this. Now what I'll do here is I will show you two examples, but in one example I'll show you two scenarios also. One example is about Fahrenheit, Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion, and the other one is like you can see it here, like I have a product list, let's say, and on that, based on the let's say this is the quantity that I'm selecting, and based on the value, so it will show me whether the item is available, not available, or it is ready to buy. Now the logic for buy or not available I have not implemented. That's just, since we are just discussing about the controls, I'll show you how we can use these controls scenarios like this. And the other one is, sometimes maybe you don't want this not available, you want to hide this button altogether, so wherever available it will show you buy. So I'll show you that scenario also. Now for this, what I'll do here is I'll go to make.powerapps.com. By the way, I'll give you all the the formula, the examples. I'll also attach this application, so you will get it. Don't worry about the code and stuff like that. So even if I'll copy paste the code, you will have it in the lectures down. You can get this code. Now I'll click on create. Let me just see if okay, let's create it. And blank app, I'll select this one, blank canvas app, and I'll say slider examples. Let's say I'll do this, so that what will happen is when you download this application, you can also see the logic and stuff like that. Now this is a tablet layout. I'll click on create. So now by default, as usual, it will create a blank screen where we will add our control. So the first example that I'll do is, let's say user will select the Celsius and we'll convert that to Fahrenheit, and we'll show this. Now for this, what I'll do here is, let's say I'll insert some controls into it. This is text label. I have added one. Let's say for this one, I will say uh, Celsius. Okay, and I'll add the slider here. So I'll add another slider control. So if you'll search for it, by the way, this is the modern slider control. So if you'll see here, I have added it, right? Now on this, you can have the range of values that you can add. So for example, let's say max is 100, or let's say I'll put 1000, and mean is, let's say I'll put minus 100, like this I'll put. Okay, now on this, next what we will do here is I will add one more text label, which will display exactly the value that has been selected here. So in this case, if you look at it, now I need to get this value. So if you see here, the control is slider one. By the way, there will be naming conventions that you can follow. I am not following it because it will take a lot of time for it. But as we discussed, for the controls, you can follow proper naming convention. Now, what I want is, I want this value to be printed here. So I will say here, this text property, you can see it here. I will say slider one dot value. So what will happen is it will print the value. So just to, if I'll just show you, now you can see here, I'm the more I'm going over here, you can see it, right? So the value is coming. Now next is we will convert it to Fahrenheit. So I will take one label here, text label. You can see it. And on the text label, I'm going to add a formula into it. Now that formula, I have written it somewhere. So I'll just copy it. Let me just put it here. In this case, if you look at it, this is the formula. So basically, the Fahrenheit what we are showing, I'm just concatenating it. Like this is the formula, around 9 divided by 5 slider value, and that's how the formula is this. Anyway, this is a normal formula that I downloaded from Google, right? So, but in this case, the slider name is slider one, so you can see it here, right? So now, you see on the text property, I added this. So now, when you will run it, you can see it here. I'm changing the Celsius. You can see the corresponding Fahrenheit value is also changing, right? So look at it here, right? So this is how you can use the slider. You don't need to enter anything. You just drag it, right? I have entered the value, which is 1000. So max is 1000 and minimum is -100. You can see it here, right? And the corresponding value is coming. So a lot of time you'll use this control. Next one is, I'll show you the other example. For this one, if I'll just open the slide again, now you can see here, right? So here I'll have a gallery control. Again, the gallery control we have not yet discussed, but this is a little bit of overlapping will happen, because else I'll not be able to give you some realistic example on this, right? Now in this case, what we'll do is I'll create a collection, and then we'll by clicking on this bind products button, and then we have a slider, and the value will come, right? So first, what I'll do here is I'll add a screen. So I'll go to the new screen, and a blank screen I have added as usual. Now on this, I will first add a button. Now what the button will do, the button will actually bind or create the collection. So if you'll see here, I will change the button text. So if you look at here, button text, I'll change it to, let's say, bind product. Okay, bind products. So next, what I'll do is on select of it. Like, so let's say user click on it, we will create the collection, product collection, and this is the code. I will put it in the course lecture. If you want to practice, then you can also get it. So if you'll see here, like, it has a this is the collection name, product data, and then product name is a column. iPhone, you can see 13, available quantity 50, price this one. Same way, there are different products, available quantity and price. So we have the available quantity is which we are going to use on this. Now I will go to this, and on the on select, I paste it. So now you will see here the this is the code to which will create the collection. Now when it will create the collection, when you will run it, click on the button, then it will create the collection. Alternatively, you can click alt and then click on this. So that will create the collection. If how you can verify it, if you go to data, then you can see here product data collection is there. So if you click on the this one, you will be able to see this, right? So if you go to the variables actually, then you see it here, right? 10 rows are there, so you can see the entire this thing on this, right? View table, so you'll be able to see the entire data here, right? So this is the collection that we are going to bind. So basically, not to the data, if you'll go to the variables, you'll be able to see the collection on this. Now next is, we will add a slider control. So I'll go here, I will just type slider. You can see it here, so I'll put slider here. I'll just drag it here. Now this is our slider data. And next is, I will, same as usual, I'll put a text label. What this text label will do is it will print the value, that's it, right? So, and this slider, we will have some properties. You can see here default is 50, horizontal. If you want to vertical, you can change it. So this will how it will come, but let it be horizontal. Max value 0, sorry, max value 100, and mean value is 0 here. So you can see it here, right? There are certain other properties also, you can check it, color, all these things. For a lot of controls, this will be like in the lot of property will be same, and for each control, difficult to explain all the properties how it works. Now if you look at, I'm just showing you the important things so that you can start using it. You, if you want to do some more practice, you change the property value, see what is happening, right? So that's the best way to learn about anything. Now here, I will bind the slider value. So if I'll go to here, what is the slider control ID, slider 2. So you can see this one. So here what I'll do here is, I will, sorry, I'll go to the text property of this text label, and I will say the value at slider uh, 2 dot then value, right? So now this will print the value, and you can see here by default 50. So that means whenever user will change something, you can see, right, the value is changing and stuff like that. Next, what we'll do here is I will insert a gallery control, and which gallery control I'll select here. So I'll select a vertical gallery control. So I'll just, you can see here, this is the vertical gallery control. So once I have added it, now gallery control is it's a collection, right? So that means multiple records we can display it. So it will take a collection here. So in this case, if you'll see here, and I'll select this gallery control here. And now you can select the collection. If you'll see here, our collection name is product data. So I just selected it. Now you see here, now things are coming like this, right? So uh, now what will happen is, if you go to the properties window, you can see here iPhone 13, 13 is repeating is coming. Uh, you can choose the layout. When I'll discuss about the gallery control, I'll discuss about more. But if you click on this now, sorry, the yeah, this way you can change whatever the if you want only title, subtitle, or you want any other thing. For example, you want image, title, subtitle, title, subtitle, and body, like this, right? Image, title, subtitle, and body. Let's say I'll select this one. So in this way, if you'll see here, all these things are showing like this, right? Now I can change it. You can see here fields. So in this case, the title, you want a product name. Maybe the next one I will select as available quantity, and the third one, the body one, probably I want to show the price. Now you can see here, the image is coming. We don't have an image, so it's just a sample image coming. Second one is the name of the product, available quantity, and the price, like this is coming, right? So now what we want is, I want to add a button where the available quantity, whatever I will select from the slider, if that value is available, that means, let's say I selected 63. Now the first one, if you'll see here, only 50 available quantity is there. So I should not be able to see the buy button. So instead it will say not available or something like this, right? So that we will do. Now in this case, what I'll do here is, I'll select the first item and I will insert a button into it. So if you'll see here, I will select a button and I will put over here. So you can see here, it is coming for all the rows. That's how it behaves. Now on select, what will happen, that we will see later, but that is not our intention here. Intention here is to show buy or not available button based on our selection of available quantity. Now I'll click on text property, because here we will now this text property, let's say, for example, I will say buy. So that means now if you'll see here, everything is buy. If I'll run it, whatever the quantity I'll select, everything is buy. But what we want here is, we want to show buy only if the quantity is available, else we will say it's not available, right? So I'll select the buy button now, and here in the text property I will change it. Okay, so what I'll change here is, I'll put a if else condition here. So I'll say, if this item dot available quantity uh, is greater than or equal to the slider. So if you'll see here, the slider ID is 2, slider 1 dot value, right? So if it is greater than, then what we will say is buy. So I'll say buy, else we will say not available, right? So I'll just close it. Now if you'll see here, let's run it. So now if you'll see here, 60 I selected, so it is saying 50 not available. 75, of course you can buy. 60 buy. 40 not available, like this. So for all the items you can see it here, right? So same way, if I will make little boat, you can see it, right? So if you'll increase, then you can see here the buy not available. So all these are changing based on the item that we are selecting. So that is one scenario. The second scenario we can do is, let's say I want to hide this, right? So instead of not available, I can hide this. So what we can do here is, if I'll go to the visible property of this, right? Of course, making both the logics make no sense, right? Not available. No. Now what we are doing is, instead of not available, you will not be able to see the button, right? So that's what we are trying to do. So the visible will be true only when the available quantity is greater than equal to the slider value whatever we selected. So we'll say this. So we'll say this item dot available quantity. We'll say greater than equal to your slider to dot. So you will see here slider to dot value, right? So now then only it will be visible, else not. Now you look at here, right? So if I'll just run it, so you can see it here. You can see it here. It is going, it is coming. So when it is like, you can see here I selected 41, the value is 40, so it is not available, like the button is not there, right? So this is also you can do. Right. So these two example I thought I'll show you so that you will get to know exactly how we can use this slider control. Any kind of form, whether it is a mid, complex or simple form, you should know how exactly you can use this control. So I hope this will be helpful. I'll put the code, I'll put the project so that you can, you can practice this also. I'll see you in the next lecture.